Hey guys, this is Graymouse 1, and this is my Bethesda E3 2016 conference. Now, Bethesda opened up with a DOS screen that looked like a dir directory, and within that, if you looked at it closely enough, it talked about Wolfenstein and Fallout 4. It had dates on it. There's one that caught my eye, was that it looked like a new Wolfenstein game called New Colossus. It said New Colossus, and it didn't where the date usually is. They just had a asterisk, so take that with what it is. After that, they pretty much opened up with Quake Champions, which was a really surprise to me. I'm really glad that they're revitalizing the older IPs, especially here recently since they released Doom, which was critically acclaimed. If you haven't had a chance to play it, I highly recommend you play that game. The video pretty much was about, it just featured, all the heroes of Quake running around in arena-style multiplayer. So I'm glad that they are going back to the roots of Quake. But one thing that concerns me is that I think it's just a PC-only type of game, which that's what it originally was. So anyway, take that with what you will. Next came the Elder Scrolls Legend, which is a card game. The trailer was nothing but a story-based campaign trailer. Storyboard, like just drawings and people talking over the drawings. It was okay. I'm really looking into playing it. There's supposed to be a closed beta soon. So next was the Skyrim Remastered announcement for HD, which is basically Skyrim Special Edition. So I guess everybody is doing the HD remake of every game. If this appeases you, then by all means go ahead and buy it. Since I already have the Skyrim game, so I'm not really interested in this bit of information, but there are those that are. Next is Prey, which is actually a really good surprise to me. It's going to be a first-person adventure. And the trailer that they didn't give no gameplay. All it was a CGI trailer. The environment looked pretty grim, and it looks like it's a very dark take on the reboot of the franchise. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Also, they went on to announce Fallout Shelter update and a PC port. For those that don't know about the Fallout Shelter, it's an iOS game and it's actually quite popular, so I'm glad to see that being ported over to the PC guys. Speaking of Fallout 4 downloaded content has been revealed. It's going to be several updates, Contraptions Workshop and Vault Tech Workshop. Looking forward to that. And then to go back on to what I said earlier, about Doom, there's going to be some updates for Doom. The DLC is called Unto the Evil. Also, the Snap Map is going to be a free update. Snap Map is just pretty much what I think it's like Forge for Doom. Forge rather, like from the Halo Forge. This is going to be a free update. And then also they announced a free demo of Doom Campaign Level 1 for this week only. So this is a good opportunity if you're on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 to just go and download the game and see how you like it. Next is the Elder Scrolls Online. Will be expanding to Japan on June 23rd. That's good to have more people to play with. Also, they talked about the Oblivion, the Dark Brotherhood downloaded content. If you're familiar with Oblivion, that was one of the extras that was in the game. That not extra, actually, it was a story arc within the game, and I'm glad to see that being brought back. Another thing too is they're going to do an update. It's called One Tamil, I'm sorry, which is basically lifting the level and the quest on all alliances. So pretty much once you get out of the tutorial area, the world is there for you to explore with no restrictions anymore. Next they went into Bethesda VR for the HTC Vive for 2017, and the games that are supported are Doom VR and Fallout 4 VR. I am particularly kind of interested in the Fallout 4 VR. That is getting, to me, that's starting to get a little interesting, just on how vast that game is. Fallout 4 is. I don't know if virtual reality is a good thing for Fallout 4, but that remains to be seen. As for the Doom VR, I could see that game being a VR port. It just naturally I think it would naturally fit. And finally, the last game that they mentioned was Dishonored 2, which was a total surprise for most. It's going to be released November 2nd, 2016. The beginning of the announcement, there was a full motion video for the environmental, different environments that they shown, and it's pretty nice. And then they went on to say that the game is set 25 years after the first. So that's going to be interesting. So basically they're going to be picking up where they kind of left off. And then they went into an extended gameplay video for that. The extended gameplay, it was nice. You could either be you could either do it stealthily, or you can go in guns and blazes if you want. They also showed the time where you can actually time shift in and out as a mechanic in the gameplay, where you can avoid guards or avoid a gate or what have you. Pretty much like what they did before. So that was Bethesda's conference. I think that it was a good conference. And if I would grade this conference, I would say at least an 8 on the scale of 1 to 10. They mostly talked about games, which is great. I'm glad they talked about games. There were some things that I wasn't too interested in, but still, they kept it to where it was all about the games, and that's what the conference should be about. One thing about the conference too was there was a lady in there that was just screaming on every trailer. It was really freaking annoying. I found that very distasteful. I know they can't control the people, but it was very annoying, and it kind of took away from the presentation. Other than that, I think Bethesda did a really good job. I think this is one of their better ones. And being that they held their own conference instead of at the E3 proper conference, I think they really did a good job. And these are my opinions and what I thought about the conference. If you have any questions, please write them down below. Please like and subscribe, and please stay tuned for the other E3 conferences, as I will be making videos about them as they happen. Thank you, and this is Graymouse 1.